Now, when dealing with charts, it's useful to know what each of the areas are called and how much control you have over each of those areas. Let's take the August chart file as a working example. This file simply has two sheets, org for the August data, we can see the information there, and then org chart, which graphs that data. It's worth just re-mentioning at this stage that all Excel charts are linked to the data that they are being used. It's not a snapshot, it's a live link. If I went into August and made a change, let's say, for example, let's change the horses sold right down to 100 for the north and look back at the chart, come across to horses sold for the north is now a very little bar. Biggest bar here is caravans sold for the west. We'll go back into August. West caravans sold is a very big number. Let's bring that down to about half. 1,000 caravans sold. Back to the August chart, and you see right in front of your eyes, the bar reduces down to 1,000. So it's dynamic and it's linked to the data. Keep that in mind. So what are each of the areas of the chart called? Well, if you actually click on the chart, this activates the Chart Tools ribbons, and there are two, Design and Format. On the Format one, if you click on an area of the chart, that area of the chart actually pops up in a little tooltip, so you can see there Chart Area, logically, and up here on the top left, it tells you what section of the chart you have selected. So if I click in here, that then becomes Plot Area. So this is the plot area. This is where the actual graph gets created, whereas the chart area is wider than that and includes the axes and the legend. If we go click on the legend, it then says legend up here. If we click on here, it then says chart title on here. If we click on the grey bar, it says Series East, and you can see all the grey bars are selected. Same with the yellow. All the yellow bars would be selected, and it says Series West. So anything you physically click on, you can check the top left-hand side there to see what that area is called. And then, having selected an area, if you then choose Format Selection, a separate box opens on the right with all the options for that particular area. So I've chosen the plot area. The pop-out box says Format the plot area, and I have an option for Fill. Currently it's set to Automatic, where I can choose a pattern fill, a picture fill, a gradient fill, a solid fill, or no fill at all. Should we go for a solid fill and then choose a color of light yellow, and then I can even control the transparency of that light yellow. Higher the number, the more see-through it becomes. Let's say 70. The nice towards the top end number, so quite transparent. I can then compress the fill option, expand the border option, and I can add a border. Currently that's set to automatic. The option is no line, solid line, or a gradient line. Let's choose solid. Put black, not transparent at all, and quite wide. Therefore we can start to see it appear. So we've now got a thickish black line around my plot area. That will happen with anything. Let's say the legend. Now because we've got the format section open here, when I choose legend, it then jumps to format legend. And the options I have again are fill and border. So that will control the box here around the legend. Now as well as that, I have an extra option here called text options, which I can click on, and that allows me to then format the text within there. Do I want any shadow, reflection, glow? Do I want to control the text box itself by vertical alignment, text direction, angle? So there are a lot of options. If I then click back to the left here, you see how I've gone to legend options as opposed to choosing the fill, shadow, and then legend options. There's a lot in here. You just got to keep your eye on the ball. Currently it says the legend is in the bottom. I can move that to the top. It looks okay there. On the left, well, sort of. On the right, not too bad. Or on the top right, it sort of squashes itself in the top right hand corner. It also says show the legend without overlapping the chart. Well, if I take that tick out, it will then overlap the chart. So if I put it at the top, it can then move into the chart area. Now it is only a text box really, so you can go and grab it and move it where you want. So if I want my legend here actually on the chart, I just grab and move it onto the chart. Obviously bear in mind, if the bikes sold suddenly go up large, it will then interact with the legend, and it won't push it out of the way, it will just appear behind it, so making the legend less legible. So moving the legend about really should be one of the last things you do once you know that the values for that chart are pretty much set. But this is anything. You can just experiment. Chart title. I then get format chart title options. I've got title options, text options. Within the text options, I've got 3 options there for controlling the text. Title options. I've got options for the fill and the border, shadow, glow, and then the alignment within the box, which is the same as the text options alignment. And just like the legend, I can move it. It is just a text box. Perhaps put it in here. If I want to change what it actually says, then I just click in. It's a text box. I just click in and make my changes. August sales 2013. If I want the font to be larger, you would think let's go to the A, but that only includes like the text fill and the text outline of the letters. I want the text to go bigger. Really, I need to go back to the home ribbon and start changing the formatting options here. So I'm in control. Click on a thing, Chart Tools format, it tells me the area I'm on. Yellow bar, I'm on Series West. Format the data series. We can go back to the fill options. I can actually change that. Instead of allowing Excel to be automatically choosing its own color, I'm going to choose solid fill and choose my own color. It does mean that you have to be a little bit more artistically aware than Excel. Bit of transparency, and we can see through. So you are in charge. That's the only thing you've got to remember with charts. Select an area, format that selection, the box opens, and you're away.